But apparently it's set up like this already for next week. Next Tuesday, Title Tuesday on the same carriers. It's also scheduled to start at 4 Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. I don't know how does AEW not fix this? Because if they don't, like, you're just shooting yourselves in the foot, because I'm sure again, the internet wrestling community wants everyone to believe that either you're a WWE fan or an AEW fan, but I'm sure there are plenty of people who want to watch both, and you want to have people be able to DVR your products and have the right thing show up on Spectrum and DirecTV, who are two pretty big carriers across the country.
And that does impact the rating, because Meltzer pointed out last night, if you watch within 24 hours, it counts the number. So last night, or this week, NXT got the win, 857 to 800, because Dynamite lost viewers last night because they were watching Big Bang Theory instead.
Yeah, that's brutal. If nothing else, it could have been a tie. But, I mean, Listen. So I like – this is what a wrestling war really is. Yeah. Triple H will just be like, "Oh, congratulations, you beat our developmental." Yeah. It's always that, right? That BS. And so, but this is what a wrestling rivalry really is. The idea that you just can't win with your own talent, you got to keep bringing people from the main roster. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to beat AEW? Because they're a different product. I thought you're bigger than that. They're not bigger than that. I want to make sure it's very clear. Make sure it's very clear, wrestling fans. The WWE is not the bigger person. The idea that you see AEW, they're competition, but they're different. They're a different company. You're the mighty WWE. You just win with your developmental kids. Sprinkle a little Baron Corbin in, you should be able to win, right? No. They want to win on Tuesdays. And so when Triple H says it's just a little pissy company, he's lying. He's lying because all it is trying to undermine and push down AEW. AEW is going to be competitive as long as they don't have the continuing technical problems that they have with their audio. And if they can get the Spectrum thing straightened out, it will be interesting. I think it's going to be closer than the people think. I really do.
The Dynamite card, by the way, as of now, Bryan Daniels in for Swerve, number one contender for the TNT title. Ray Phoenix defends the international title against returning Mox. Soraya defends the women's title against Shida. Hobbs versus Jericho, and Adam Copeland's first match versus Luchasaurus.
That'll be the main, I'm sure, right? Copeland?
I think so.
I would think so. International title probably leads off, because the international title always leads off every show. Shout out to Orange Cassidy. But yeah, I mean, that's a great card that they put together. And outside of, I mean, is John Cena cutting a promo going to be big enough to? I mean, it might be, because he's John Cena. Like, he is still one of the biggest stars in professional wrestling. But I'm with you, Hood. If they figure out their thing with Spectrum and DirecTV, I think next Tuesday is going to be very close.
See, that's the thing, though. Like, I think when it comes to Dynamite, like, that's one hell of a Dynamite. It's a pay-per-view quality card that is great for AEW with audience and AEW wrestling fans and wrestling fans in general. Like, we want to see those matches. Are you drawing in anyone new, though, like from that card?
See, I agree with Gabe that I think that NXT will win. I think the reason why is because as wrestling fans, we're a creature of habit.
Sure.
And I think there's some people who's going to be looking for Dynamite on Wednesday and like, what the hell happened? That don't DVR and don't realize, hey, they're on Tuesdays.
What are the Minnesota Twins doing on my television?
Exactly. What's with the towel? What's with that? I don't understand. Where's my wrestling, right? I mean, that's what it comes. So we're creatures of habit when it comes to that. And so I think that people will miss Dynamite on Tuesday. Like, where's my Wednesday? Because when you move the day and time, that brings the audience down. But again, my overarching point of this is, why does NXT or WWE need to win so badly against AEW? Because it's a real rivalry. But then they deny it, and so it's just BS. Like, why can't you just roll out your Tiffany Strattons and your Braun Breakers and just go about it? Beat NXT with that. Can't do it? Why?
No. And that's the thing. So, like, Tater points out also, it's Tony Khan's birthday on Tuesday. So happy birthday, Tony. You might lose to WWE in the ratings. And the weird part as a wrestling fan is that, I don't know if we would have gotten into it, No Mercy this weekend, NXT's premium live event, was damn good. Yes, and that was an NXT roster. And now, like you said, you're throwing out Tuesday Night Raw, and you're going to get people. Yes, you're like, oh, Cody, I know him. Cena, I know him. So you have to pick a lane. Like, what are you doing? NXT should have been riding a high right now. And now it's like, oh, no, sit down, young fellas. We have a competition to win on Tuesday night.
Oh,
how much of this is also them trying to, because they're in the middle of trying to sell all their TV products. Like, we know, they were able, to sell SmackDown, they're taking away from Fox, and USA has SmackDown now, and the future of NXT on television's a little up in the air, is it not?
It should have never been on TV. That was my private little show that I would see on WWE Network quietly. Like, I'd turn it on and I'd be like, I don't know. Am I supposed to be watching this? This is great wrestling. It's a great TV. Like, oh my God. It was a nice kept secret. Then you had those takeovers. Oh my God. Under Triple H, you had to watch every week because, I don't know, it was pro wrestling in a sports entertainment company. It was great. And then, like, I fell off because they changed it, and all of a sudden the studio looked like the Jenny Jones show, and I just didn't want to see it anymore. Then they had wrestlers that just couldn't work. Like, okay, I don't want to see this. I want to see Kevin Owens. You know, like Sami Zayn, guys that can work, veterans from the indies that came to NXT and made a big difference and a big splash. That's what I like.
Yeah, but I'm just curious if that's a part of this, as they try to figure out if NXT has a future home on television. Because USA, the money that they spent on SmackDown, it would seem, and we had this discussion when that news came out a few weeks ago, based on some of the reporting around that Raw and NXT are still out there. And who knows what happens with those. So to me, I'm wondering if, okay, are they also putting on the full court press to be like, well, if Turner's out there giving them 3 shows, 3 nights a week, granted it ends up being, WWE still has more hours since Raw is a 3-hour show. But if they're going, well, if they're getting 3 nights, we got to make sure we have 3 nights. So we've got to bump this NXT rating against them head to head so we can go out to the people we're talking with and saying, well, see, Turner's spending money on them. You should be spending money with us.